So, markets are down by nearly 10%, and many of you might be having the question that what I should do next. Shall I invest more? Shall I stay put? Or shall I sell away all my stocks? So, what is my take on this? See, none of us can catch the bottoms or the tops, right? Like everyone says that you can either catch the bottom or the top, and if you can catch that, then either you're God or maybe you're very lucky. So, it's not possible for you to do that. So one of the best case scenario is to have a process of how to invest when the markets are down. And you see, today, as on date when I'm recording this video, today is 17th of November and tomorrow is 18th. So tomorrow the markets are open. And if I look by today's 17th data, then what is happening is currently in the US, the US markets are currently down by nearly 1 or 2% most probably. So most probably tomorrow as well, Indian markets will be open gap down, or maybe it can go down 1 or 2% more. So at this juncture, what can you do? It's simple, like I said, you should have a process by which you can invest more or a lump sum amount whenever the markets are down. And how are you going to do that? It's a very simple process which I have designed. See, I won't say that I have created this process or anything, but what I've seen is based on historical data, the markets have been down by almost 60% sometimes. No, I'm not saying that markets will go down by 60%, but at the max, Indian markets have gone down by around 60 to 65% historically. So what can happen now? At max, markets can go down till 20%, maybe 15%, but I don't see further correction from there simply because there has to be some global trigger that needs to happen for markets to go down further than 20%. Otherwise, I don't think it will happen because number one, Trump is in the US, has been elected in the US just a few days back. So, and he normally brings a stable government. Yeah, markets get volatile because of his tweets and whatever, but you know, I feel markets will be fairly stable from here onwards. It can go down. I'm not saying that it will continuously go up or whatever, but it will be fairly stable, maximum 20% or something like that. So, what is the process that I'm talking about? My process is you buy the dip, as usually I've heard it, buy the dip. And but how can you do it? I can't talk about stocks because SEBI doesn't permit me to. So what you can do is invest lump sum in the Nifty index funds, index mutual funds, or the Nifty ETFs. And you can do that in the form of tranches. So what do I mean by that? It's very simple. Let's say you have 1 lakh rupees of capital and you are waiting for the markets to correct for the last 4 years, and finally you have the chance to invest. So how do you do it? You divide the 1 lakh rupees in 5 equal parts, which is 20% of each, which means 20,000 rupees, 20, 20, 20, and 20. And how do you invest? Each time when the markets go down by 10%, you invest the first round of 20% rupees. So how is it? Let's say currently Nifty is at around, most probably I guess it's around 23,000 or something. I haven't watched it clearly, but yeah. So it is already down 10%. So right now you put a tranche for 20,000 rupees and then you wait until it falls down a further 10% from its all-time high, which means 20% crash from the all-time highs. So when it goes to that level, you again further invest 20,000 rupees and you do that till the market corrects till 50%, right? By way, by this process, whatever you're doing is you're averaging out your cost price and you're continuously buying low, which which means whenever the market shoots up, your XIRR or the CAGR, which is shown in the mutual fund apps or whatever, it will go up in profits very fast. And it's a fair way to invest because you're buying the dip. You're not buying when the market is going high. Yeah, see, I'm not talking about SIPs. This is purely a lump sum strategy. Whenever you have a lump sum surplus amount left that you want to invest, you want to deploy, this is one of the best strategy to do. Now you can say that, okay, Tujo, you're saying, but by this process, I'll stay protected until 50%. What happens if the market goes down below 50%? Well, if the market goes down below 50%, then till 50% you are averaging, right? Or maybe you can change the numbers. I'm saying 10%. Maybe you shift it to say 9% or each 5 when the market corrects by 5%, you'll invest. It's ultimately it's your strategy. Whatever you can do, whatever with it. I'm just giving you a process by which you can follow it. Because otherwise you will just take, okay, क्या market further गिरेगा? क्या market उठेगा? you'll just be in the confusion. Let's not be in the confusion and like ask random people that आगे क्या लगता है, market का क्या होगा, ऊपर जाएगा कि नहीं, नीचे जाएगा कि नहीं, bottom बन गया क्या, and watch those news channels because it's not worth it, honestly. It's just a waste of time. Rather focus on some productive task and I'll say earn more money rather than focus on this. So it's the best way that whatever be it, irrespective of emotions, whenever the market falls down by 10%, you're investing 20% of your capital. Falls down further 10%, you invest another 20%. And in my opinion, that's the best way possible. Because otherwise, you're just waiting, and ultimately you can't invest. And ultimately, this money is for the long term, right? So even if, let's say, the market stays in the same position for the next 5 years, which I don't think will happen, but at least your capital is protected in this way. So, how should you deploy this? As I said, the vehicles are the Nifty 50 index funds and the Nifty 50 ETFs because those are the most safest. You can use this in small caps as well. You can use this strategy in mid caps as well. I mean, as well, not in the uh, actively managed mutual funds. I'm talking about the passively managed ones, the index funds, because if I say index, SEBI won't penalize me or whatever. But yeah, that's the process because otherwise, if you don't do it, you'll stay behind and you'll just wait for the crash. So until for the further crash or if the market falls by 20%, I'll make another video. But I don't think it will happen that the market will fall 20% from its all-time highs. So I'm keeping the video till here. If you want to watch, if you should be buying a house or not, and it's not those typical influencer video. It's a very simple, thought-provoking, and emotional-based content that if you should buy a house or not, and you can watch the video here. That's it. Like, share, subscribe.